The following is a list of 9 of the most notoriously haunted locations in Rochester, New York. Number 1. Durand Eastman Park. Spanning over 975 acres, Durand Eastman Park in Rochester, New York is said to be haunted by the spirit of a woman in white whose apparition is seen wandering different trails and roadways late at night. Known by some as the Lady in White, the woman's restless spirit allegedly roams the park searching for her lost daughter who was murdered. Number 2. George Eastman House Museum. The George Eastman estate was constructed in 1905 by the philanthropist and founder of the Eastman Kodak Company, George Eastman, who committed suicide at the location in 1932. Guests at the museum often report witnessing a male apparition believed to be the late Mr. Eastman. Others report experiencing other unexplained paranormal phenomena, such as cold spots and feeling the presence of an unseen entity. In 1949, the George Eastman estate was reopened as the George Eastman Museum, and in 1966 was added to the National Register of Historic Places. Number 3. Holy Sepulchre Cemetery. Established in 1871, Holy Sepulchre Cemetery is a 332-acre Catholic cemetery located in Rochester, New York, with over 100,000 burial plots. Visitors at this location report witnessing unidentified shadow figures and apparitions, especially in the children's section. Other visitors report feeling sudden cold spots or drops in temperatures, as well as feeling the presence of an unseen entity. Number 4. The Rochester Broadway Theater League's Auditorium Theater. Constructed in 1928 as a Masonic temple, the Rochester Broadway Theater League's Auditorium Theater is said to be haunted by the spirit of an elderly man whose apparition is often seen by actors and actresses backstage, as well as the spirit of another man seen wearing a red coat. The Auditorium Theater is said to be one of the most haunted locations in Rochester, with actors reporting the sounds of disembodied voices and footsteps during rehearsals, as well as witnessing objects being moved by an unseen entity and feelings of being watched. Number 5. Rochester Main Street Armory. The Rochester Main Street Armory in Rochester, New York was constructed in 1905 by the United States Army to train and process new soldiers. The facility remained open until 1990 and was later reopened as a venue hosting live music, sporting events, and other live performances. Guests attending concerts and other live events often report witnessing unidentified apparitions and shadow figures, as well as experiencing other paranormal phenomena, such as cold spots and objects moving by themselves. During its years as a military facility, many fatal training accidents are said to have occurred at the Main Street Armory, which many claim is why the location is haunted. Number 6. Rochester Psychiatric Center. The Rochester Psychiatric Center in Rochester, New York was constructed in 1857 as the Monroe County Insane Asylum. Although many of the old buildings on campus have been abandoned or demolished, the main hospital is still in use. The location is said to be haunted by the spirits of former mental patients who were abused and neglected by caretakers, as well as subjected to experimental medical procedures such as electroshock therapy or lobotomies. Employees at the hospital report witnessing the apparitions of former patients, as well as experiencing sudden cold spots and feeling the presence of an unseen entity. Urban explorers investigating the abandoned buildings also report experiencing issues with electrical items, as well as hearing the disembodied sounds of voices, footsteps, and moans. Number 7. Rochester Public Library. The Rochester Public Library in Rochester, New York is said to be haunted by the spirit of a young woman who allegedly drowned in a nearby aqueduct. According to legend, her body was swept downstream until it became stuck in a tunnel underneath the library. Guests at the library report witnessing an unidentified female apparition whose spirit is seen wandering the hallways aimlessly. Another spirit said to haunt the Rochester Public Library is that of a former librarian named Frank, who died of a heart attack and whose apparition is said to haunt the location of his death. Security guards also report capturing strange paranormal activity on security cameras, such as doors opening and closing by themselves and strange disembodied noises late at night when the building is empty. Number 8. The Aquinas Institute of Rochester. Established in 1902 as an all-male Catholic high school, the Aquinas Institute of Rochester, New York is said to be haunted by the spirit of a young woman named Victoria, who was killed in a car accident on the opening night of the school musical. Since her death, the young woman's apparition is often seen by students in the school's auditorium during rehearsals and performances. Students and faculty members also report witnessing strange paranormal activity, such as doors and windows opening and closing by themselves, as well as hearing the sounds of disembodied voices and footsteps. Number 9. University of Rochester. Students at the University of Rochester in Rochester, New York report witnessing the spirit of a former worker named Peter Nicosia, who fell to his death while constructing the Rush Reese Library Tower in 1929. Students and faculty at the university often report encountering Mr. Nicosia's ghost, who allegedly speaks and interacts with students before mysteriously vanishing. On several occasions during the 1930s, students studying at the library reported encountering the spirit of a man who matched Mr. Nicosia's description, who claimed that the school still owed him money for construction work he had done. On another occasion, the man allegedly asked two students if they knew how tall Rush Reese Library Tower was before giving a whistle and then vanishing. After months of alleged sightings, one student who encountered Mr. Nicosia's ghost asked if he knew a man named Peter Nicosia. The spirit allegedly replied, "Shoot, that's me," before once again vanishing. That concludes my list of 9 notorious haunted locations in Rochester, New York. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more creepy videos and other content. To see my full list of folklore tales and haunted locations in New York, check out the link in the description, and be sure to follow ghostquest.net on social media by clicking the links below. To check out more of my creepy videos, click the thumbnails shown on the screen.